Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to thank you for coming in and tuning in once again. I am honored and blessed today by none other than the Godfather himself, the Godfather, Mr. Moro Atari. Oh my God. And today we're going to talk about vision, values, and victory. Man, awesome. I hope you guys are ready. This is the platform where you guys get to actually participate. All of you out there get to participate and ask any questions you want. But before I do that, I'm going to have Mr. Atari himself. Yes, we should have had theme music for this man. I'm going to have him introduce himself and just say hi to the people as they chime in. I see them coming in, and I'll be saying hello. Remember, you got to say hi so we can acknowledge you. Yes, Mr. Atari, please introduce yourself so people that don't know get to know who you are.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks, Leo, for having me on, man. I was really excited to get the message out there. But just I met you in Miami last week, and you bring the fire, man. You bring it on. And when I saw that, I said, how am I going to get on this guy's podcast? So I just reached out, and here I am a week later. So thanks for that. I've been in the insurance industry for quite a long time, about 27 years. Full time, and I've been with Experior since 2016. I'm an executive partner with Experior, and our business since then, since we joined, has just exploded. Experior has really put a lot of people's business at a different level, and I'm so proud to be a part of them right now.
Man, you brought out half of my. I'm already wrong. I did a little research because let me just tell you a little bit about what I know. See, I don't even know where the name came from, but we're going to get into that. We got into the whole Godfather thing. Everybody said this is the Godfather. And I started looking at you, and as much as you don't wear a pinky ring, every time I look at you, I feel like you got a pinky ring on. So I'm looking at you, and I'm like, all right, that's the Godfather. I gotta, get to know this guy. And every time we hit to an event, it's hard to keep up with you. And then I was able to actually really link up with you in Miami, and I was like, okay, this is exactly what I expected. You seem to go and put yourself in a corner sometimes. You don't really stay out there in the spotlight. So I was like, man, he reminds me a lot of what people don't know this about me, but I put it out there on Front Street all the time. I'm more of an introvert. So I'm the guy that wants to be in the corner sometimes and just chill and relax. But I was like, I got to go talk to you. And I started looking at you. You got these nice, the clothes is different, 3 buttons on the top, jacket is always pressed. I was like, okay, this guy, something's different. Then I heard you on stage. Yeah. When I saw you in the convention and you talked about the things you do for a community and for the school you went to and all I was like, man, this guy's different. So I'm going to say the story, even though you sort of cut this out. I was preparing for last week and you text me saying, hey, let's do a podcast, and I was like, I almost damn near ran off the road. I was like, what? Like, Moro's reaching out to me? What's going on? When did I win the lottery? I was so excited. So I want to thank you for actually coming here. In my research, I thought you were in the business 25 years. This must be old. You're here 27 years.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we can go with 25 if you want. I started right out of elementary school, so I was 10 years old when I started. And that's what I still get a laugh from it once in a while. But most of that's it's getting old now that the gray hair is kicking in. No one believes me anymore. So
We got a question that I did prepare for you. So tell us a little bit about your roots, your journey. What life experiences shaped your belief that you would become a leader and an entrepreneur? Because I'm sure before you were in this business, what did you do?
I worked in retail. I was a paint mixer at a paint store, and I'm colorblind. Just to add to that, so I don't know how I got really good at selling things that. But honest to God, I was a paint mixer at a paint store for about 8 years. Prior to that, I worked in a factory. Prior to that, I worked construction. I delivered water. I was a waiter. I was a bus boy. I've pretty much done it all since the age of 12.
Wow. So you've been working, basically making ends meet. That's what it sounds like
Yeah.
since you were 12 years old. And were you introduced into insurance? I mean, no one wakes up
Well,
saying they want to do insurance.
I was how old was I? I was around 28, 29 maybe. I was introduced to a company that recruits. And listen, all I knew was one thing. I didn't know anything about investments, insurance, math, nothing. But I was sitting there in the crowd, and back then I had hair down to my shoulder, and I wore an earring because I used to play in a rock band. And one of my buddies invited me to this meeting at the Holiday Inn, so I said, "Sure, I'll come and support you." Right. So I'm sitting there, and there's a guy at the front of the stage with white hair, with a nice suit on, and he's talking things I don't understand. But he did say something. He says, "It doesn't matter where you come from or what your background is. You can win here as long as you work." And that was it for me. I said, "I'm in." And it was a full-time transition. Like there was no part-time gig back then. And in Canada, you could only do it full-time back in the 90s. So it was sink or swim. But at the end of the day, he said something. I think I said this at the last convention, was he said you can make a six-figure income. And I was so not around people who were successful just because of where I was in life, that I didn't even know what that meant. I leaned over to my buddy. I said, "What does that mean, six-figure income?" He goes, 100,000 plus. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. You're saying I can do that?" I said, "I'm in. Let's do it." So that was it. It was a quick decision, but it was tough. It was tough. Only and the reason why I made the decision so quickly is because if it didn't work, I could always get a job, right? Because I've been working since I was 12 years old. There was nothing. It's not like I was leaving being a doctor or a lawyer or anything like that. I didn't go to university or college. So at the end of the day, it was like, sure, let's give it a shot, see what happens.
Just like
And
that, made a decision. And as we learned in one of our mentoring classes, you got mad, you made a decision, and here you are. That was the last decision you had to make. Nobody noticed that, right? You notice how he picked up the coffee, guys. I don't know. I want you guys to understand. He picked up the coffee so you can make sure you understand that he made his six figures plus.
oh no, I didn't. I didn't do that. I'm gonna use my other hand. Thank you.
I'm just playing with you, Moro. I'm just playing with you. That's
That's
just
good though. I'm gonna use that. That's awesome.
So you got into insurance, into the financial, because it's not just insurance. You did pretty much everything that has to do with finances, and
Yeah,
things are a little
I still have a mutual fund
different.
license. I'm more of an investment guy than I am an insurance guy. Um, I don't. I just love watching money grow. Insurance is only good when someone dies. So unfortunately, I have paid out, and thankfully that they've been covered properly and everything. But I really love watching money grow, right? And that's the exciting part of the business.
So that's your thing, and making changes in the community. I have another one. While people are stirring up their questions, I got the Godfather here. Let me just say, what's going on, Mr. Tarolia, the one and only out of Miami, Florida. My mentor is here, Eric Robinson. What's going on, Donna? Alumnus. Yes, I do know how to say your name. Mr. Kira and Mr. Kia are here today. So, guys, there's a lot more, but they're the ones that are saying hi. So I'm able to say hi to them. There's about 17 people watching. But I have a question. Beyond business, what passions and personal values drive you? What do you do or care about when business isn't your focus?
Well, that's a lot. What do I care about? What are
Mm,
my passions? I'm a people person. I have a challenge in the fact that I carry the weight of the world on my shoulders, but I don't let anyone know about it. So, and it's people too. Like I've been able to create a unique ability to connect with people through listening. So you say when you see me sitting in the back of the room, it's not because I'm an introvert. It's just I'm an observer. I like to watch and see what's happening and see how people are reacting to certain things and see, because when people don't know that you're watching them, that's when you really see who they are. And so my passion
mm,
is people. I love watching people and trying to adapt myself to where they are, where they're positioned in life, what they're feeling. I never ever want to say that you can do it just because I did it. That doesn't mean anything to me, because I don't live in your shoes. I don't know what journey you've been on. I don't know what challenges you have. At the end of the day, it's ignorant for me to say just because I did it, you can do it. Well, there's yes, you can, but there's certain things you need to overcome. So that's one of my passions is connecting with people and watching them grow and believe in themselves and not and yeah, just be that, without sounding corny, that beacon of light or strength to say, listen, I don't expect you to be everything, but you can be everything, and I'm here to help you, kind of thing. So yeah, my passion is people, basically.
I've heard a lot of stories about how you help people. A lot of
Mhm.
stories. Can you tell me one that comes to your head right now? Because I remember sitting with you at the restaurant, and I was just amazed by the way you made it sound so easy. And I was like, people don't talk like this man right now. Like no one tells people that, but it's so good to know that they exist because there's a lot of people that donate for the show. They want everybody to see. They want everybody to know what you're doing. But I've heard so many stories of you that everything you do is in silence, and it's basically it really comes from a heartful place. So, what's one story that you know off the top of your head right now? And I'm sure you have many. Probably one happened today. I'm not even sure, but what's one story that you can say right now that and how you help people just that's not work related, it's not prospecting, that's not the business.
No, yeah, no. There's so many things. I always look for an opportunity to help someone when they need it the most. You know what I mean? And whether it's like we were at a Blue Jays game, and this girl was trying to figure out how much to pay for her beer with her boyfriend and everything, and I was just standing there, and I said, no, you don't have to do that. And I just grabbed my card and I tapped it. And I just tapped it, and she looked at me like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, enjoy the game." That's something small, but there's been other times where I've had people in my Facebook family that say, one example, I talked about this. I won't say any names, but someone was trying to raise money in a GoFundMe for their kid to go on a school trip to Italy. Um, and I said, well, how much do they need, and this and that. And at first, I donated some money, and then I realized, oh my God, that's not enough. So I donated twice. And the reason why I did that, Leo, was because I remember in high school, I had to beg the school to let me go there because it was a Catholic school, it was a private school, and I didn't have the money to go there. But I didn't want to go to the other schools where I grew up in an area which was a lot of gangs, drugs, and all that kind of stuff. So who knows what I could have been or would have been if I didn't go to that school. So I'm blessed that happened. But I remember being the school drummer, and I was there for 5 years, and for 5 years wasn't able to go on the school trip with the music group. So I'm the drummer and I'm not there. Someone had to step in for me because I couldn't afford to go. So when I heard that someone in my community needed money to go on a trip to experience something that all his friends were gonna experience, I said that's all I need to hear, man. I never want anyone to feel what I felt, because when all my buddies and all my classmates were enjoying themselves and having fun, which they deserve to be, and to do so, I was at home, by myself, not there experiencing it. So I want people to experience things that they deserve to experience, not just because and do it because they work hard, or they want to change their lives, but not make money the issue for it. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. You got a heart of gold, man. And I hope and I pray, man, God is really using you, because you pick and choose as you go, and you really just really like helping people. And this business suits you, man. You just want to change people's lives and give people experience. You're just you're that
Well,
dude, man. You're that dude.
but you know what? You give me too much credit. I've been surrounded by a lot of great people, and I honestly believe that if you don't surround yourself with good, integral people, then you'll fall for everything, and nothing's going to work your way. I have great leadership in the company with Jamie and Leanne and their integrity. I have I have strong foxhole buddies like Frank DeLeo, Laval DeBeau, Daniel Prete, Angel Contreras, who I just met in the beginning of the year, has become like my brother. And because we all care about each other and where we're going. So it's not just, I appreciate the accolades, but at the end of the day, it's who you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with a bunch of people that only care about money and winning and stuff like that, that's cool. You're probably gonna win and make money, but you're not gonna have any impact on people. I don't think so. Like, how many cars can
It's
you
all
drive?
about
How much?
purpose.
Right? It's all about impact. Eventually, I'm gonna leave this earth, and if there's even one conversation that someone has that's positive about me that has nothing to do with the business, then that's cool. That's really cool, right?
Okay, we got a leadership question here from Eric Robinson. What are some of the
Hey,
biggest mistakes you see leaders make when they are building a team?
I've made this mistake, Eric. You get comfortable and you go into management mode where you just say, oh, I've got my team, I got my position, I'm an executive director now. Okay, now let me see how much I can show them, how much I know, and let me see how much I can get out of them. And it's just because you don't want to go back to the grind, right? Because recruiting and growing a team, it's a grind, and it hurts emotionally, especially guys like me. People say no. I've learned to disconnect that. But when early in the game, when people said no, I took it personal. So now, so at the end of the day, it's about getting out of the management mode. Uh, I have people coming up to me just the other day say to me, he goes, "More, I'm kind of stuck. I can't get to the next level." And I said, "What do you do?" And he says, "Well, we still train. I got about 12 or 13 licensed people, and we're talking to them and we're training them." I said, well, then are they doing anything? Not really. I said, then go get new people. I said, the challenge is you're trying to get more out of the same people. You're not going to get more out of the same people. If they're going to stick around, you're going to love them, you're going to hug them, you're going to high five them, you make them feel good, but you're not going to depend on them and try to revive them to get something done. They're either going to do it or they're not. They're not going to do it for you. They're not going to do it for me. They're going to do it for themselves. And if they haven't done it for themselves or their family yet, there's nothing you can say or do to make it happen. So go find some people who will. So that's
Well,
the biggest thing, Eric, is getting out of management mode and trying to get more out of the people you have. And Eric, I know you personally, you don't have that challenge because you're constantly moving, you're constantly recruiting, you're growing, you're killing it. So, but there are some people that stall in that place for a while, right? So
my mentor told me it's better to give birth than to renew the dead.
revive the dead. Yeah, yeah.
Revive the dead. Just give birth.
It's
It's
easier,
much
eh?
easier. It's easy. Oh, you know what? I was just saying it, and boom, the comment comes out. It came to
I
my
know,
head.
Mark.
Sometimes we're in sync like that. Mark says it's easier to give birth than to raise the dead. Now, Takia has an interesting question, and this is for the new agent. Being that you're in the space, when everything around you is falling apart and success still seems like you're 3 feet from gold, right? As the book. What is one belief, habit, or source of strength that keeps you digging when most people would have quit?
Hmm. I had
I guess that's
nowhere else.
a lot.
I had nowhere else to go. Um,
Mm,
that's me. It's like, I didn't have a great education or family money or business mindset or anything. So it was like, what else am I going to do? Like I've already started here. I like it. I see the results. Yeah, it hurts. And some days it killed. um, so I just believed that one day it would happen if I just kept doing more, not keep doing the same thing. See, that's a mistake that most people make. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different change and something else to happen. You have to do more of something that is going to get you results. That's the challenge. Most people continue to do the same thing and don't get anywhere and then feel bad about themselves or feel bad about the opportunity. But the other thing, too, I'll tell you, the main thing that kept me going, guys, is again, I'm going to say it again, the people around me. If you surround yourself with good people, they're going to be there for you when you're down, and they're going to help you move to the next level. But the other thing too is, in the same sentence, I couldn't give up on my people. Sure, I was
mm.
having a bad time. I wasn't winning out of, but I had a bunch of people following me and believed in me, so I couldn't give up. I had to keep going to show them that it worked and to show them that they could be successful and that they believed in where I was going and I was taking them. So I couldn't give up on them either. So it's not in this business of recruiting. It's not about you. And that's the challenge with most people. They think it's about them, their position, their commission, their all that. No, man. And this is why, Leo, you say that I've been blessed. Yeah, I have, because you know what? I put other people first. I don't think about what's coming in my pocket. I don't care. Don't get me, I don't care, but like when I have a team, I need to think about them and what's wrong with them and what's going on with them and what challenges they have, and try to move them that way. So yeah, that's it. Just don't give up, but don't always do the same thing. I said at the convention, Rocky has a Balboa in the movie. He says, when you get knocked down, you got to keep getting up. Yeah, after a while, you got to stay down and figure out why you got knocked down. You don't just keep doing the same. You got to, right?
Why you keep
Like,
going?
I'm not going to do that again, right? Like, so you have to learn from all this stuff, right? Failure, failure is an opportunity to learn. So that's what we have to do. So what kept me going was learning from it and not taking it personal, and just making sure that I was always moving forward and not thinking about the past.
Oh,
If
did you
I were
just say something? Failing forward. Oh, I like that you said that. Great.
yeah. If you
Wow.
wrote your own obituary, what would you want people to know about you, and
And
how would
how do
you?
you think people will remember you after you are gone? This is Takira Sullivan.
Take care. That's
They just hitting you
that's
with different
deep.
questions here.
That's deep. How long do you think people will remember you after you're gone? Um, I'm hoping forever, because I've in especially in my, obviously with family, and this business allows you to build a legacy, and people around me are going to remember how we forged the way to change their life forever. Um, what's it going to say in my obituary? I try not to think about that, but I hope it says selfless as servant leader who cared about others. That's about it. That's me in a nutshell. Hey, don't get me wrong. There's a reason why they call me the Godfather. If you cross me, I get
You
pretty
know what?
angry.
Listen. I'm letting the people talk. You know what? Let's go to my question. That was going to be my question. I was introduced to you as the Godfather. I don't know the story behind the name, many aliases. Please tell me and tell the
There,
people why you are the Godfather besides the suits and the
That's
pinky
pretty much
ring.
it. It's the suits. I'm Italian. It's the suits. It's the age, how long I've been in the business. That all of those things are part of it. But I'm very quiet, as you know. I'm very helpful and caring and all that stuff. But I'm also, and that's the Italian in me, is you don't like, I'll always remember if you did something that you shouldn't have done. Um, and I get, and you can ask the ELC or some of the leadership council where I'm quiet most of the time, but then something goes on. I just like explode. Um, hopefully respectfully, but yeah, that's what it is. But I think it's more the suits and then a battalion. So.
Here's a quick. You seen the movie, right? I know you've seen the movie.
Oh, a
Which
thousand
one of them
times.
do you? Which one of them do you relate to the most? If you were one of the characters, which one would you be?
I'm Michael. I'm Michael.
All right, guys,
100%.
there you have it, Michael.
100%. 100%.
We're gonna have people watch the movie now just to see how they associate you. They're gonna say you're Michael. Let's see. We
Yeah.
got Kiko. She said, "What are your tips or advice to someone who is new to leadership?" That is a very good question right there. What do you say to them as far as, I guess I'll elaborate, expectations? They just got there. Let's just say you just got an ED. Granted, they go through senior management, they're going through some of the woes, but what's one of the things that you really want to make sure they focus in on as a executive director so they got foresight?
Well, once you're an executive director, it just starts. It's not the journey hasn't ended; it just began. So whatever it was that got you to that position, do that and more of it, and make sure your people are doing the same thing. Leadership in our group, I'm fortunate to have Frank DeLeo as one of my leaders, and he runs a mental mindset training every Wednesday, and people can plug into that if they want. And that's what it's all about, is mindset. So always self-improve, always grow. You always have to be growing. And in our business, Leo, it's growing two ways. We're growing mentally, but then we're also growing our business. So once you stop that, like, just because you got a position means nothing. Like, I know so many people that stop at ED. I'm an ED now. Like, what does that mean? You're just at a higher contract. You haven't changed anyone's life. You haven't changed your life yet. Go make other people wealthy so you can become wealthier, right? That's how it works, right? So, Kiko,
Okay.
that's the best leadership advice I can give you, is just keep doing what you did to get to where you are, but do more. I'm always going to say do more, because there's always more to do, right? It's always do more.
That was a good one. Don't stop. You got to keep going. Basically, you're talking about changing people's lives. That's what you're in it for. So you're going to be doing this for a long time. Are you going? How many years you think you're going to be going? I mean, you got a lot. I feel like you've been revived, because when I came in, you were chill, and all of a sudden, I see a different animal, and I've only been here about 10 months. So
Yeah.
what changed?
Well, you know what, and that's so true. There's more people now that we've gotten to a certain level in our business and in our lives. It's time to make sure that everyone else gets theirs, right? And it's selfish for me to just sit back and say, okay, well, I've got my $1 million ring. I got overrides. I got all this stuff. Let me just go on vacation 10 times a month. 10 times a year, and not worry about the people that got me here. Right. At the end of the day, my obligation is to them, and to show them that it's worth it. And now it's my job is to pour more belief into them and help them and lift them even more. And that's through all the meetings that we're doing, like traveling all over the place, and helping people get that environment going. And the other thing too is Jamie and Leanne haven't stopped. And Jamie and Leanne have now brought the company to a different level completely. And it's almost insulting for me to sit back now. It's almost a slap in their face to say, oh, okay, now I got everything you told me you were going to give me. And now I'm just going to sit back and do nothing. No, now I got to go to work and make it happen for everybody. So, yeah, that's the thing. I don't think I'm ever going to retire. I don't have to. I'm blessed. My son just got in the business, and you know, at the end of the day, once you build a legacy here, it just continues on forever. So
That's interesting you say that. I'm gonna go to the this question by LaShawn, and then I'll come back to something. You just brought something to my head. She says, "Do you feel there's such a thing as being afraid of success? And if
yeah,
so, how would you recommend overcoming that?"
yeah, 100%. You are afraid of success, and the reason why you're afraid of success is because you don't think you deserve it, and two, it's like, am I good enough to continue to have people follow me? Right?
Mm,
Am I good enough? When I get up in front of this people, are they going to be inspired, or are they going to say negative things about me? Are you going to have enough to offer? Are you going to lift the what they call the law of the lid? Are you going to be able to keep that value gap? That's the main reason why people are fear leadership, is because they fear of that subconsciously, of course, that value gap isn't there. And so how do you overcome that? Always make sure you have a value gap between you and the people who are following you. And that doesn't mean that you're better than they are. Always give them something that they can attain to, whether it be through your inspiration, through your teachings, through your knowledge of the products, whatever it is. Always stay ahead, and that's the best way to overcome
okay. Now, you did say you came here with the purpose where, Jamie, we've all read the book. Well, a lot of the viewers have read the book, and how experience started. You're one of the first ones, right? You're part of Mount Rushmore. You, Frank, like FML,
it.
correct? All right. These are
Yeah,
the
we
heads.
did. They were around. Experior was around before us, 2 or 3 years before us. But yeah, things really started to change a lot when we all joined forces, for sure.
And it's crazy because when I came, when I first was introduced to, I guess, as I like to call him, Mount Rushmore of Experior, you were really, chill, relax. I'm here. Not like I've arrived, but more like, I'm here to help how I can. I'm not, I put the uniform away. I actually put it in a frame, put it on the wall, and I look at it and said, yeah, I did that once. I'm good. All of a
Mm.
sudden, convention comes around and I'm seeing you running laps. This is not the guy I heard of, running on top of the stage, all animated. Then Florida came, and I saw a whole different side when I was hosting. I was like, okay, what's going on? What put the battery in your back? And I think you mentioned a little bit of it, but I would like you to go a little deeper because, yes, Jamie was on last week and he talked about the changes. And there's been so many changes in the last 9 months since I've been here.
Mm.
It hasn't been like gradual. It's like, it's like we're just going this way. What was that change that
Hockey
made you
stick.
say, damn, I got to put the
Mhm.
uniform back on?
Well, you know what helps is other leaders coming on board that we're growing faster, getting more recognition. Like, at the end of the day, even if I'm quiet or an introvert, we're all competitors. We all want to win, but I don't want to win at all expense. So at the end of the day, it's like, hey, let's go do what we got to do to make sure that we're still relevant. You know, I had a meeting with my executive directors yesterday. I said, guys, there's big things are coming down the pipes with this new merger, and Xperia is just growing like crazy. I said, I don't want to be irrelevant. I said,
Ooh.
our team FML cannot be irrelevant. We have to maintain competition, and that doesn't always mean being number one. We'll fight for number one, but yeah. So a lot of the new people that Jamie was able to attract, and now more people. Obviously, the blessing that I got to have Angel and Johanna join the team, that put a spark in me, because again, to answer to the other question, is the leadership. It's like, okay, you're coasting for a while, and then all of a sudden someone comes in who wants to take it to the next level. You either sit back and do nothing and that person blows out, or you got to bring your game up now and you got to start participating in that growth, and that's what helped a lot too. And honestly, I've been doing it for so long that some of the people that we came over with were having great success, but I know that they can do so much more. So we'll do it ourselves. We'll do it together. It's hard to be a lone wolf, Leo. You can't do that, right? It's really hard to be a lone wolf. So at the end of the day, we got here together, and we're going to get to the next level together. So I don't know if that answered your question, me running across the stage and stuff. Listen, my personality, if you know me, I'm fun. I like to have fun. I joke around a lot, sometimes inappropriately, if you right. But at the
I was sitting with you in the corner. I know.
So at the end of the day, I love to have fun, but I'm also extremely serious when it comes to business. So, so when I'm having fun, that means I'm happy. Things are going on, right? When I'm quiet in the background, that means I'm in observing mode. So, but it's not about me. It's about everyone else. I want everyone to know that you can be the best version of you, as long as you continuously grow, as long as you keep moving forward. A lot of us get stuck in the past or stuck in the present, and we just keep spinning our tires and saying, why isn't this working? Well, it's because you're not doing what works. And and that's whether it's hard work or whether it's changing something, like embracing all kinds of different things like social media. Like I've had to change a lot of stuff, right? Like, but it's either that or just be a dinosaur and not grow with everyone else. So.
We were just talking about this expansion. This wasn't one of my questions, but it does come to my head because I would love to know, what is your perspective on that? When you heard everything, did you what did that do? Because you've been in the business for a while, right? You've seen transitions, you've been in practice companies. I feel that your experience speaks a lot because you've witnessed and seen a lot. So now comes something that I don't know if you ever seen anything like what Jamie and Leanne ended up doing with with the merger.
Oh,
I don't that I know.
Brother, I just got to chill. I just got to chill when you said that again. So I'll be honest with you. At the beginning, when we heard the first inklings about what was happening, the leadership of Experior, the field leadership, we were kind of like, oh, what's going on here? Because again, this is it's not our baby, but we help nurture this thing, right? It's like, what's going on? And our biggest fear was whether or not, our founders were going to be protected, because now we're in a different world, right? There's one thing to be a mom and pop shop. There's another thing to be IPO ready, which means you're surrounded by really, really aggressive, smart friggin' people that are just like, you sit there and listen to them. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe what I'm hearing. So at the end of the day, we were nervous, but when we got to meet Monty Hall and his team, I'm more excited now than I've ever been. And it's not because of the fact that, we're going to be wealthier or bigger. It's just the opportunity to make Experior so much better and so much faster. It's taking that 10-year game plan and reducing it down to 3.5 years. And with all our sister companies now, we're going to be able to beef up all the things that we've been asking for and wanting in Experior. Now we have that opportunity without having to, go through all those growing pains. So that to me is, and you guys will see it, especially like when I first joined Experior, guys. I know for people who aren't in Experior, you're not going to know what we're talking about. But those of you who are, when we joined Experior, there was no back office, there was no EFA, there was no ICS, there was nothing, man. Everything was done between Jamie and us, handing policies to each other back and forth. So to see where we've come is incredible, just with what we had, the experience, and now to see who we're partnering with, that's going to be explosive. What's going to happen?
Man, so that's what it is. You just found the fountain of youth in the business. That's what happened. You went from to putting the boots back on. It's just you just found it. Now you're just excited because you want to see. And not only do you want to see what I'm noticing, and you could tell me if I'm wrong. We're having a conversation, just too many people listening. I think since you were part of the beginning, you want to see as much as you can and be part of where we're going. Not just say, oh, I was there.
100%. 100%.
You want to have your fingerprint.
Yeah, I don't
Honestly.
want to be that guy that says, "Oh yeah, I remember when I started there in 2016, and you know what, we helped them get to wherever, and then all of a sudden it exploded after the fact." No, I want to be part of that journey, right? We all want to be part of that journey. We all want to be
Nah.
part of something that's bigger than us, right? And that's why, listen, everybody who's in leadership position, you got to lead people by giving them something that they want, and they want it bad. So you have to either be that example, or you have to show them that there's an opportunity for them to have what they want. And you know, that's what our business is doing on a regular basis, is continuously pushing to make sure that people are always moving with us, right? Instead of just
Mm,
sitting back and doing nothing.
that's great. I got a few questions, and then if anybody else chime in, I'm curious. Man, Moro, this has been great, and I'm just letting you know right now. That way, I have it on recording. You know, you're coming back for part two, right?
Sure, anytime.
Okay, everybody heard that, right? Bring it back. Come rewind. You're coming
Anytime. Next time though, I'm
back.
coming.
Love it.
I'm coming there so that we can sit side by side and do it. How's that?
You know what? Mr. Mark Tirolia, did you hear that? We're actually working on a studio. Mark Tirolia, come in. He said he's coming. Remember that. Anyway, what do you believe are non-negotiable traits or behaviors in leaders you choose to surround yourself around or surround
Uh,
yourself with?
Surround myself with non-negotiables. Is listen. They got to be positive. They got to, you know, listen. I'm negative. You know, sometimes Frank has to slap me, and sometimes I have to slap Frank or whatever, just because sometimes you know, it's like, okay, that's enough. Let's not talk about this stuff. And But always being around people that have something positive to add. Honestly, the you know, talking politics, talking who's right, who's left, talking by term invested difference or whole F universal, that just causes a lot of turmoil and unnecessary stuff, right? What we need to focus on and have surrounding is positive affirmations, positive people, where we're going, where the vision is, who's winning, who's not winning, how can we help people win. You know, at the end of the day, guys, listen, I got to tell you something. You can write yourself a paycheck all the way to $1 million in this industry. That's how great financial services is. But you're never going to build something without helping your people. And that is the number one priority for everybody. It can't be a daily thing of where am I at right now? Where am I at right now? It has to be where are we at right now, and where are we going? Okay, that's the main thing. That's what keeps me going anyway.
So staying around, it's all about who you surround yourself. I mean, we hear this.
Yeah,
This is a constant thing amongst leaders in the industry, or any entrepreneur I've had on this platform has said it's all about the people you surround yourself with. So you surround
100%.
yourself with winners to be a winner and for a greater cause. Everything has to be bigger than you. If it's just big enough for you, then and nobody else fits in that dream, then it's not big enough, and it's
Yeah.
something that you seem to shy away from. I got a question from Taurus. How can our strategic alliance with AOG help us maximize our recruiting of licensed agents? From your
Woo.
perspective.
Well, it
I saw
already
you read
has.
the woo.
Taurus, it already has. One is we have the reputation of a powerhouse of a leader in Monty Holmes. He's got a great reputation. The guy's been around forever. So just having him tie himself to us lends a lot of credibility, especially if you're in that if you're in that model. Um, the other thing is to just talk about where the company is going and how we are getting IPO ready. Don't talk about we're going to go IPO. Don't talk about stuff that we don't know is going to happen. But we're definitely growing to a point where we're going to be acquiring or hiring or not hiring. We're going to be acquiring or bringing people on in partnerships to make AOG the Berkshire Hathaway of the insurance industry. So there's going to be tons of companies underneath that umbrella. And it could be a tech company. Like we have tech companies already. and we have now we have home and auto companies that are not part of Experior but part of the AOG family, and we have copper.com, and we have all this kind of stuff that we can use that to move our business even further. See, a lot of people, if you're looking at the if you're looking at the industry, and the industry is just basically come and join my IMO or MGA or whatever it is, because we got the best comp, or we got the best products, or we got it. Listen, at the end of the day, comp is very, very important, and product is very important. But if there's no exit strategy, or there's no future goal, there's nothing there. What am I doing every day? I'm just doing the same thing over and over again, like everyone else does. Well, here you can say to people, listen, why don't you come a part of something that's going to be huge, man? We're going to be the biggest thing ever. We're gonna be the fastest company to go IPO, and we're getting IPO ready. And it's just, we're thinking about the future and how big we're going to be, right? It's not about just today. Like most of the recruiting companies out there, all they do is talk to you about that, the comp. Our comp is better, or our bonuses are better, or I hate when someone says, well, our bonuses are better than yours. Okay, well, how many bonuses have you qualified for? None. Okay, so it means nothing to you. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, if you haven't qualified for a bonus, that means that it's too hard to qualify for that bonus. So I don't care if it's available, you're never going to hit it. You haven't hit it in 10 years. What makes you think it's going to change? Where I can say, listen, you come here and I can show you a guy who started in January and made $1 million in 8 months and hit every freaking bonus in 8 months. Can you show me that? Right? So that's the difference between Experior and the other companies, and AOG, using AOG to help us in just seeing the bigger picture, right? We're no longer in the arena with the small boys and girls. We've now stepped out, right? Now we're in the UFC, right? Before we used to be in the MMA fighting gym, and we would just be pounding, and Jamie would love this if he was on it. We'd just be fighting each other and fighting the guy over there. He said that, she said that. I didn't like what he said. I didn't like what she said. We're gonna make ours a little bit better. This and that. Now we're in the championship ring, right? Now we got to really fight, and that's what's exciting. So yeah, use that. But guys, listen. At the end of the day, no matter how good our comp is, no matter how big AOG gets, no matter anything, if you're not excited, if you're not on fire, people aren't going to follow you. Period.
You're on fire right now, but I don't want to let you look. I know we're coming to an end, but I got to emphasize something you said there that is rather important. You have talked to a lot of people from many different IMOs, and you said something about we have now a new addition to an exit strategy, which is something that started in Experior. So it's almost like you came with the Experior, started with the end in mind. Like, you could take advantage of a retirement plan. Most people say they build a big enough team and they hope the team survives. And when they retire, they hope to keep getting residual. They hope, this is the word, hope. They hope that the team continues to grow. They hope that clients keep coming. They hope to get residual. They hope. You just said something that's very different. Like, you can literally say, I am able to retire and I'm good. And you just said that opportunity just got even bigger with AOG.
Yeah, 100%. There's a plan. There's a plan. Every day you wake up, there's a plan. We didn't believe that Experior would work when we first joined, but we believed in Leanne and Jamie's goal, their plan, their vision. We followed their vision. And whether or not we thought they were crazy, we still followed that plan. So there was always something we were growing towards. Jamie always said, we're going to be the biggest. We're going to be the best. And sometimes we'd giggle in the background saying, yeah, you're crazy, but I'll follow you anyways. And we just keep going. And then all of a sudden, guess what? Oh, we did become the biggest. We are becoming the best. And now he's saying with AOG, this is what's going to happen. Yeah, I'm in. Let's move. Like, I still get chills just talking about it, right? It's something that's going to drive us to something that we've never really experienced before. So yeah, I'm excited.
You just completely, I see your energy just changed right away when you talk about it. I see like you're ready to go and run. Let's go. All right. I got 2 more for you. And then if anybody answers, and we'll be done for the first part with Mr. Morrow, the Godfather of Tori. Okay. So how do you ensure your team is aligned around vision, ethics, and performance, especially across geographic and cultural boundaries. Things are
Mm.
different here in the US than Canada. I mean, product wise, even, I mean, some of the training does have its own. We have a generic backbone, right? But there's still things that come, above and below. They're a little different. So, how do you keep that alignment of the vision?
Products are different, borders are different, but people are the same. People all want to
Gotcha.
win. People all want to be successful. People all want to be somebody. And that's the thing. You have to talk to people. Forget the products. Performance, I don't put a emphasis on performance because because we're in a business where we generate our own income. And if you're not performing, then that's why I've never put pressure on people. It's like, listen, if you're not going to pay your bills, I'm not going to pay your bills. At the end of the day, you got to do what you need to do. But is there something that's stopping you? See, then I take it to the next step, though, Leo. It says, what's stopping you? How can I
Mm,
help? Do your
mm,
presentation for me. Let me hear you where you're screwing up. Let me see. Okay, why'd you say that? Why'd you do that? So coaching them that way is good. But um, that's definitely one of the things that you need to do. The other question was the vision. The vision, you can't sell a vision. You got to show a vision, right? And if you're always excited and you're moving around, then they're just gonna follow. Like Jamie talked about a vision, but he also got results. And Jamie and Leanne always brought the company up the next level, the next level. So we followed not just on words, we followed on actions and results. So you have to be action and result oriented for your people to be aligned with you. Ethics, guys, I got to tell you something. How you deal in life, people will treat you and their people the same way. For me, integrity and ethics come first. Number one, I don't care how much money you make in my business. I will get rid of your butt if I don't trust you. I don't care as long as just don't do that kind of stuff. Like at the end of the day, ethics and integrity are number one. And people should be able to see that, smell it, feel it on you. Okay. From day one. Okay. And I've again, and you can ask Frank next time you meet him, I'm usually 100% right when I meet someone and I say, not for us, guys, not for us. Well, we'll give them a chance, but then within 6 months they blow up because I know I can read people. So when you learn how to be integrous yourself and you learn how to be ethical yourself, then the people around you are forced to be that way also because you're gonna source them out, right? You're gonna call their bullshit basically. You're gonna call them out. So they either conform or they leave. And if they leave, that's great. But if they conform, then you've got an army of great, ethical, strong, passionate people with vision who want to perform, who do all that stuff. And that's where I've been so freaking blessed with the leaders that I have. I never, ever, guys, here's another thing I want to, maybe we'll end with this, is don't believe in your own crap. Okay. When your ego gets too big, that's a problem. When you think that you're better than others, that's a problem. I did not get here on my own accord. There's so many people to thank. Not only the people around me, but my clients, the people who referred to me, and my friends from high school, the people there's so many people that helped me on this journey. If you think that you got to where you are because of you, you're an idiot. You're never gonna have people follow you. You never, ever,
Oh
ever.
my God. This will be your last question. I just want to, it's curious, I like this because it's sort of ending basically with vision since we just talked about it. Looking 5 to 10 years ahead, what's your legacy you hope to build within FML and Experior
We,
for your
we
organization, your
want
industry, and
that.
yourself?
That's an easy question. FML wants $100 million earners in the next 5 to 10 years. That's what we want. $100 million earners, not $100,000 earners, $100 million earners. And you know what? I know we can do it. I know we can because I've seen it. So in the past 12 months, with people coming on board, not even an FML, just people who are coming on board, I've seen them blow through $1 million like it's nothing. That's going to start happening on a regular basis. It's just whether it's going to be on my team or your team, or at the end of the day, we're all going to win, because Xperia, because of that, is going to get so much bigger. And I believe in what Jamie has always said to me. Even though I thought he was crazy when he said it, and now I believe it more than ever. We are going to be the biggest and the best financial services company on the planet.
You know what, Mauro? We're going to stop there. What I want to please take a second to let people know where they can find you. This is a shameless plug moment. How can they find you on Facebook, Instagram? I don't know, in the street.
I don't know how you do that stuff. Just go put my name in there and search for me.
Look him up. I'll put it in the chat. You'll be able to find Mr. Mauro Torre. Man, it's been an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to have you here. Thank you for reaching out. I feel blessed beyond belief that you reached out to me and wanted to be on this platform. And hey, I think the interview was phenomenal. You dropped some gems. They'll be able to be played back on Facebook, YouTube. Guys, you could subscribe by hitting the QR code up there on the top right. Man, I can't wait until part 2. And I got to get your other FML people. I got to get Frank up here. Got to get Frank up here. So I got to get his number.
Let's do that.
I would love to see. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I could bring you both on and we could talk about it and get, it's more. This platform isn't, I want to make sure people understand, isn't just about insurance. We having people that really want to express what that is, but it's more about entrepreneurship. And if you're listening to the gems that these men are dropping, Jamie, Mr. Torre, any other of the entrepreneurs I have, they're letting you know about entrepreneurship and the things that it takes. It's either in insurance or running a coffee shop. You still got to have the same mindset, and you got to be able to expand your mind. You can't make more money than your mind can actually think of. You got to be able to see it, feel it, touch it. And how many people you help with whatever it is you're doing is how you change lives and you move forward. I want to thank you once again. And like that, thanks, guys, it's been an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to be with all of you. Be blessed.
Appreciate it. Thank you.